there? Welcome back to the Phantom's Fact YouTube channel. I am back with another review, and this review is of Amsterdam, released this year in 2022, starring Christian Bale, Taylor Swift, Margot Robbie, John David Washington, Anya Taylor-Joy, Robert De Niro, Rami Malek, Chris Rock, Timothy Olyphant, Zoe Saldana, Michael Shannon, and it was directed by David O. Russell. This movie is set in the 1930s and follows a group of friends who, after a group of three friends who find themselves in a murder plot when two of them witnesses a murder and they are blamed for it, and they must free themselves from the accusation, and uncovering a huge plot that might change American history in general if they don't stop it. And this movie is a fucking mess. When I saw the trailer for this constantly before I went to go see movies, I was like, oh, you know what, that actually looks pretty decent, because it has a lot of actors I like, and from the trailer, it looked like it was going to be like a comedy, movie where these guys are trying to free themselves from this murder plot. That is not what this movie is fucking about. Usually in movies like this, you follow the characters as they try to free themselves, and they're on the run as they're trying to secretly free themselves from this murder plot. That does not happen. It takes a different direction in this, and the direction it takes is fucking insane. Now, apparently this is based off of a true story. I don't know if that's actually true. Don't quote me on this whether that is. So, yeah. So one of the two things that I like about this movie, before I get into the major problems I have with it. One, the performances are all pretty good. I like most of the performances. These are good actors, but the material they are working with, and the fact that the three mains have kind of good chemistry, but at the same time not a lot. Like, I don't see how they... with this, you need to really establish is how they made a friendly bond, and you kind of get that from how weird each of them are, but it's like, I don't know, it really doesn't, you really don't get that. But I will say most of the actors are doing a good enough job, and there were a few jokes that made me laugh. A few. Now, let's get into the bad thing. And the direction is okay. The cinematography and style is alright. It isn't an awfully shot movie. Now, for the bad stuff. The story in this movie is fucking wild, man. It is so bad. And the writing is so bad. Because you think that this, as I was saying earlier, you think that this movie is going to be about these guys on the run trying to, clear their name. That is not what happens. And for some reason, they have action. It does that trope in movies where there's like 10 minutes of important stuff, and then you get a flashback back to explain their connection with this other character. I'm like, why not show us that first? That's what I thought the movie was going to do. Show us this other thing first, then show us what gets them in the current predicament that they're in. And then you have Christian Bale narrating, just because you need a narrator in this movie to make its plot make fucking sense. And he's doing a voice where he's playing a Jewish character, and his voice in this is so fucking weird because it's Christian Bale doing a Jewish accent. So he's like, wow, that acts fast. Like, he sounds like Patrick Bateman with slight Jewish undertones popping in ever so often. But yeah, the fact that you get such a poor execution up front, and then you get these other characters who are putting in weird-ass performances. Rami Malek, I don't know what the fuck he is doing in this. Same thing with Anya Taylor-Joy. I have no idea what the fuck they're doing in this. De Niro, I understand what he's doing in this, and I actually kind of like his performance. But when you get to the core of the movie, with it being about, like, friendship and camaraderie and, like, living your life the way you want to live it, because Christian Bale's wife, like, constantly uses him just to impress her family, and he even says this to us right away, and you get the themes right away of what it's going for, but then you also side jam that into this plot where you think that the murder mystery thing is going to be the big thing. No, they are never on the run. They never feel any tension for these characters at all when they experience different things. And for some reason, the movie is edited so poorly that it's like you cut to different scenes where characters, you see them meet up together, but then you focus on other characters, then you flash back to what those characters did, and I'm like, why do this? Why not just show us them discovering this in the first place instead of having them narrate and do that? That is so strange of a concept, and the movie drags in some areas because it's 2 hours and 14 minutes long, and the style of this movie is trying to be like a Wes Anderson, where it has this like serious message, but it's being goofy about it. It does not work out. Wes Anderson is so much better of a director than this director. And the writing in this movie doesn't help any of these actors who I know are good actors. I've seen them in good things, but yeah. This movie was just frustrating to watch for me. I was trying to get into it, and I just couldn't, because there are so many questionable things. There are so many, why the fuck did they do this with these characters? Why do they have this plot that leads to nothing? And I guess it's supposed to be outrageous at the point, because it says one of the most outrageous plots in American history. I guess that's the point, but I had no idea what the fuck was gonna happen at the end of this, what's revealed to happen, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, none of this was leading to this. No, there was some lead up, but I had no idea it was gonna lead up to this. I feel like the movie really does not explain itself well, and to what's revealed to be going on at the end, what this secret society is doing, it is just fucking crazy. I don't know what the fucking point is. And sure, these actors are all good and they have good chemistry with each other, I think, for the most part. As I said, I don't feel like the friendship is really explained that well, because you meet one of the friends after the important event happens that gets these two characters on the run. I'm like, why do that? And, oh my God. It's just so frustrating to watch why they made these choices. So to whether I recommend this film, it's a hard recommend. It has one of the worst one of the most worst story and editing decisions and just composition in how it's edited and how it's doing all of this stuff. It really does not work out well. I had high hopes going into this, but it honestly didn't impress me all that much. The performances are fine, and obviously comedy is subjective, so if you find some of this funny, I guess maybe the reveal at the end was supposed to be out of nowhere and kind of funny, but when I watched it, I was just like, what the fuck is the point of this? Like, I had no idea what was happening, because it doesn't even take its main plot that serious, and how am I supposed to be intrigued with these characters when you're not keeping them jokey? An example, Royal Tenenbaums. That movie is fucking insane and goofy, but at the same time, it takes its major plot serious. That's what I feel like this movie needed to do, is keep the subject matter serious. Even if you're going to do crazy things with the plot, you really need to ground the audience with these characters, and I feel like it doesn't do that. So if you saw the trailer and got a few laughs out of it, maybe go see it. Because as I said, some people might see this differently than me, but for the most part, I don't really recommend this. It isn't worth a theater watch. Nothing was amazing to me that I recommend this for a theater watch. So I guess if you saw the trailer and you're like, you know what, that actually looks kind of interesting to me, then I recommend it. But if not, then I recommend you don't see it. So yeah, it's a hard recommend for me whether I recommend this, because obviously comedy can be subjective, and some people might find this entertaining and funny. I really didn't. I just kind of found it confusing and irritating in its plot and direction. So that was just my opinion. So hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe down below. If you'd like to share your thoughts on the movie, make sure to put those in the comment section. If you have any other movies you would like me to review, make sure you put those in the comment section. Please like, subscribe down below, and I will see you all next time.